Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Cookie Tribe, here with our spotted nichelings. And as always, if you need to know what the heck is going on, I recommend watching the previous episodes, and also checking the video description for a link to our challenge rules, now updated with a few new features, and a link to our wonderful wiki, where many of you have worked very hard to create some beautiful niche pages. So if you really need to kind of catch up on everything that's going on, you've got all of those wonderful resources, and we are going to begin by having an announcement from Marsh. So Marsh has actually been sitting next to the bones of old Aunt Cumin. I hope you kids haven't forgotten about me. And he had a little bit of an epiphany. You guys may recall Marsh was somewhat disturbed when his sister, Rosewater, actually tried to convince him to leave the family cookie tree and begin a batch of their own, a new tribe of their own, having children under a different cookie tree. And while every tree is very important and should have some nichelings attending to it, each nicheling group is very attached to their particular family tree. And Marsh just couldn't imagine abandoning his family tree. I mean, it has the bones of old Aunt Cumin. Not to mention, this is the original tree. This is one of the most important trees on the island, since the bones of Tata and Lala, the goddesses, like the god and the goddess, who's sometimes a god herself, right over here. No, Tata, you're the only one connected. Lala, where did you go? Lala is in here somewhere too, but the bones of Tata and Lala, the trickster god and the fertility goddess, actually are under this tree as well, which I imagine that has just made it grow and flourish. And I love the idea that the more nichelings we have next to these trees, the more it grows over time. And actually, that'd be really cool. I need to remember that for the form suggestions on the nicheling forms in the future. How cool would it be if some of the trees and the bushes grew over time? So maybe they started off as a small tree with one nut, and then they got bigger, 2 nuts, and then they become huge. Maybe they even become huge enough that they could grow a nest spot up on the tree. How cool would that be if like it grows an extra branch and a permanent nest shows up because the branches have developed enough? It would be really cool if the islands could kind of change over a period of time like that. I would put down money for DLC to make that happen, because that would make each island more dynamic. But pulling away from getting distracted by all of the future daydreams of what we might expect in future niche updates, let's come back down and visit with Marsh once more. And Marsh here has actually had a small epiphany, realizing how important this family tree is. Looking at his family that is gathered nearby, he has realized that they really need to make this a land of the cookie trees. And in order to do that, they need to make the cookie trees be well tended to, and the thing that you can see for just miles around. So all of this grass has to go. He has realized that if we want to properly honor Mies, the cookie goddess, then we need to make her trees stand out and show them the regard that they deserve. Perhaps there should not only be a patriarch or matriarch of the tree, who almost always just stays under the tree. In fact, I think that Hazelnut, having seen these snails, has decided, never mind, and we're actually going to have Hazelnut about face. And he's going to come back under the tree, since it is his job as the patriarch of the tree to stay by it. But the nichelings should tend to the tree by tending to the ground around it, digging up the roots, and making sure that all nichelings far and wide can see the bounty that Mies has to offer by being able to see the tree. So all of the grass has to go, and I realize that will be how we decide that the island is finished. And we will clear all the grass. It's actually one of my favorite ways to quote unquote like clear an island. Well, I guess it's not really quote unquote, we're literally clearing the grass off the island, but still, we'll clear all the grass off the island, and that will count as finishing an island, because I want you to try to go to 12 islands, 12 to 13 islands, as we continue to search for the Grand Cookie Island, which a lot of you guys suggested should be the home island, and I think that's a great idea. The home island is the island that we can go towards for like Adam's home in the storyline of Niche, and it's full of nut trees. Like, it's got tons of nut trees and it's quite large. So we'll try to take over the home island and maybe defeat the invaders. And I think that's a great idea. So thank you for that. But that will be how we determine if we're done with an island, is if all of the grass is cleared. So let's get a move on with that then. That is what Marsh has just... He has seen the light. He has listened to the bones of old Aunt Cumin, and he agrees with their ancestors that the best way to tend to the cookie trees and to honor the spotted goddess Mies is to honor her trees. So he's going to send out the children and encourage them to go and clear the area. And also Hazelnut is going to encourage his son Anzac to perhaps roam. Anzac and Macadamia. He's going to task his two sons, since he has four children altogether. Yeah, hang on one second. Where's Hazelnut? There you are. Yeah, he has Anzac, Cream, who has become a wanderer, and Macadamia. So he only has two sons, because Graham ran away, that have stayed under the tree. And he is going to task them, realizing that as the patriarch of the tree, he cannot leave its shade. He must stay and act as a connection between the goddess Mies and the Cookie tribe. He will ask his sons to go forth and see if they have any luck finding a spotted female that could possibly come and join the tribe and join the tree. Because we need, well, any spotted nicheling, really. Maybe in his heart he sort of wishes he could find love again, since his first romance was with a much older nicheling that he did learn to love, but she was gone almost as quickly as he appreciated her beautiful brownie spots. And maybe he does want to find love again, but instead of tasking his sons with going to find a new mate for him, he has tasked them with simply setting forth and seeing if they can find other nichelings to bring to the tree, as there is room for more. So we're going to have Macadamia set out, and he's very interested about these berry bushes. So we might find out that he has got some sort of connection to a berry bush in the future. But he's going to start searching for a spotted nicheling on this side. And Anzac is a little bit of an adventurer. He's a little bit of a daredevil. He is a little tired because many of the nichelings are already looking at his brother as the future leader, even though he's much older, but they just find Macadamia's clear spots to be so attractive, clearly a sign of favor from the spotted cookie goddess. What does that mean for Anzac? He's a spotted nicheling too. Just because it's really hard to see his spots doesn't mean, and he has the deformed paw actually, and the deformed paw is actually what the cookie goddess Mies had herself. So how could they doubt that he has her favor? But it would be a little stressful to see your younger brother get all of the acclaim, all of the fame and the support from the tribe. So Anzac, being given this task by his father, and knowing that his brother Graham left the tribe in anger and set out to survive in the wilds himself, may decide to just see what the edges have. He does want to honor Mies and the Cookie tribe, but maybe this isn't the place for him. So we're going to have him start heading out as well. Aha! He's already got some food to nibble. I'm sure they've given him some nuts to chew on as he spreads out. And the little ones are going to help out too. So we'll gather up some berries there. Let's go ahead and destroy that nest because it'll be a while before we can use it. And given the task of clearing away the grasses, Banana will come over here to start that work. And little Sugar Drop will come down here and start gathering as well. All right, so we've got quite a big development going on there. And then over here, Blondie has just I think she's gotten lost. I think Blondie, she wasn't planning on going this far, but the next thing you know, she's just sort of gotten lost here in the grasses and can't seem to find her way back home. But as soon as she can find a high place where, she can get her ears a little higher above the grass, she'll be able to find the cookie tree. This is why we should have the cookie tree, all the grass cleared away, because without it, how will you find your way back to the home tree? That's very upsetting for the nichelings who are part of the cookie tribes. But for some nichelings like Cream, Life is more about just the freedom to wander wherever her daydreams take her. She occasionally manages to find some food, but to be honest, she just took a whole bunch of the nuts from the cookie tree before setting off on her wandering journey. But it occurred to me, my friends, that if you're worried about us meeting wanderers or nichelings who have great genes but no spots, wanderers like Cream here, who have all yellow gemstones, can mate with anyone because they do not want to be part of the cookie tribe. And I think I'm going to make that happen, as if you become a wanderer like Cream, then you can never rejoin a tribe. Your children can if they're spotted or if they're adopted into the tribe, but you can never rejoin a tribe. If you become a wanderer like Graham, you can rejoin a tribe because he can't mate with anyone. She can. So wanderers with the yellow gemstones will sort of be fragment groups of nichelings who may develop completely independently of the cookie tribe and thus don't have to follow any of their rules. They can do what they want. And that's the kind of life that Cream is sort of looking for. Some fish. Maybe we can do a little bit of fishing with her in just a second. That'll be fun. I think that the fish have caught her attention. And then over here, we have little Coco, named after the coconut, the first child of Rosewater and Cran. And unfortunately, this beautiful young nicheling is quite sickly. Her mother would be very distressed about that and constantly trying to feed her many, many nuts and just watch over her. Her father would be quite upset about this as well. Cran will try to gather even more nuts. Maybe they can heal their young, beautiful daughter, who is just as beautiful as they always hoped, if only they can give her enough of the nuts from Misa's tree. So we'll have to see what happens there. She does have double eye immunity, so she could be a good mate for Macadamia if she wanted to come out from under there. Maybe Marsh might end up falling in love with her. Walnut, she wouldn't smell good to Walnut. She'd smell good to Anzac. But we kind of need to get more nichelings, so we sort of need the baby having to be baby having pretty soon. But I don't know. Hazelnut can't take anyone as a mate. Well, I mean, he could take Sugar Drop as a mate, but I think Macadamia and Sugar Drop have been making eyes at each other, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Banana, what about you? No, Banana doesn't smell good. Banana smells bad to him. They share some immunity. All right, let's see. Oh, we've got another little sickly guy. Or is she sickly? Rosewater has now gotten the sickness that her daughter had, but we have a blue-eyed baby boy. Look at him. Wow. So we now have a blue-eyed baby boy who actually has his mother's coloring. And oh, look at dainty little Coco. Let's have her step to the side. Maybe she can help with gathering the nuts. So she's a good nut gatherer too. So Rosewater, unfortunately, has gained an illness, an unexpected illness. We'll go ahead and just put a nest straight under the tree. And that's quite distressing to Cran. We'll have him come over. Oh, there's a whole nother nest over here. It's like 3 tiles. It's kind of 2 tiles diagonally from the tree. So that's kind of like, I'm not sure if they would feel that was the best nest, but it's not. If it was any further out, I'd say no way. But it kind of falls under the shade of the tree. Not quite. Yeah, it's actually like just a little bit too far. So that'll be maybe an overflow nest. Oh, we'll put Coco in it. Maybe she can relax there. All right, so we've got interesting developments with the Rosewater tribe. And then over here, let's see if Cream can find those fish, because why not? Too bad you can't smell fish. We'll just have her kind of like wander along the edges. There's those fish again. What? There's just dead meat here. What? Okay, there's some sort of mystery going on there we'll have to solve. And on this side, Macadamia is going to continue gathering those small fruits, and he has found another berry bush, so he probably thinks that's a very good thing. Banana has found some nests, but she must just kind of like scorn these, like, who puts nest as far away from a tree? Like, that's a terrible place to try to raise your babies. And Anzac is going to jump over here, because even though his father spurned them, I think he's curious about these snails that might end up in our cookies. And then Sugar Drop is going to pop over and help clear the grass away. We're going to have Walnut. Who is Walnut? Is he like the brother of Hazelnut? Yeah, Walnut is Hazelnut's brother, I believe. Yeah. Walnut is Hazelnut's brother, so he's got a little bit of freedom of movement. I think he'll because he is so young. Should I send him over here? All of the grass needs to be cleared. I think that he'll go ahead. He's so young. I think he'll go ahead and follow Macadamia, who's only a little older than him, but I have a feeling Walnut's a little intimidated by all of the older nichelings, so he'll help out with clearing the grass over here. Hazelnut is going to speak to the tree today, and then Marsh will go ahead and, let's see, is there any roots to dig up? Do we smell any of those? We do not. Interesting. So Marsh will come down here and help to clear this area. There we go. Because he really believes that it is important to worship Mies by clearing all the grass so that we may see her tree. And then meanwhile, Blondie's still lost. You know, she's just, there's some bunnels over here. That's useful. Not as good as eating nuts, but useful. And then let's come back over to the Rosewater tribe and see what their child will be. Whoa! What the heck do we have here? And I forgot to name both of the boys. He's so cool. He is so cool. And while red is really an attractive thing, it's more pink to the Rosewater tribe. Having, this is one of the coolest nichelings I have ever had born. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to name him. I want to give him like some sort of really cool, he's like rose red blood. He's honestly like blood colored. He's so cool looking though. What do I even call him? I have no idea. Wow. Let's see. Dark chocolate. Oh, maybe dark, for dark chocolate cookies. But he looks sort of spicy, doesn't he? I'm gonna name him Cyan. I probably spelled that completely incorrectly, but we're gonna give him a really fancy name like Cyan, because I have heard that there are some people who deviously put spicy things in their cookies, which should be a crime, but you know what? Some people do it. And then Rokunu here is just really sweet and sugary. He's not super pretty pastel cookie like the Rosewater line really wants to see for their children, but he's attractive enough. Let's give him just a basic name like a sugar cookie. Let's give him the name of Shunar? No. Can you tell how desperate I am to try to come up with names? I'm going to now start just making names up, and we'll say they're kind of centered around something. So we're going to name him, let's see, Lordaine. Because he kind of reminds me of like maybe a proper little lord in like a court, for instance, where they have beautiful rosewater cookies and drinks. So Lordaine, named after kind of like sugar cookies that you might expect to see at a place where they have like little tiny finger sandwiches and fancy tea that you have to lift your pinky to drink. So that's what he makes me think about. But this is amazing! Cyan! Holy cow, he's even got like black horns. Wow! Honestly, I think that he was just born and like punk rock music started playing in the background. He's probably going to end up coming to join this tribe that we're working on building with Blondie and everyone else, because they're gonna like Blondie and Anzac and now like Cyan. They kind of are going to be the group that we try to really get the exotic look going. The cookie group, we're going to try to get the browns and the chocolate chip sort of look going on. The Rosewater are really going to focus on pale pastel-y colors, really elegant, maybe peacock tail. They're going to be kind of like your Regency elegant people. So this is very exciting. Holy cow. I love him. And he is not sickly, just their sister Coco is. So, this is interesting, guys. I think this is actually a really good part to leave off, because come on, can't you just hear like the punk rock music? Like just all of the guitar screeching, like some drums are starting to build up. Cyan, you're officially one of the absolute coolest babies we have ever had born. Welcome to the cookie family tree. But alright guys, so if you could please leave some nuts for little Cyan to have his first meal with, and by leaving a like, and if you have not yet joined our Nicheling Pantheon, do please consider subscribing, because we will have this and hundreds more Nicheling adventures coming, I can promise you guys. Hopefully after the next year starts and the update comes, we'll be able to do some fun Nicheling challenge live streams again. That'll be really awesome. But all of that if you subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think of Cyan, because he's awesome. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.